Welcome back to another episode of the Nourish with Renata podcast. I'm Renata, and today we have the most incredible guest. She's also a best-selling cookbook author, which is kind of how we met, which is amazing, but we both love the healing power of food. And this is really the story that I wanted to share with you today because you're going to be so inspired and so lit up hearing the incredible story of this amazing woman. Welcome, Shelley.
Renata, thank you. You're just one of the sweetest people I know. And I'm so blessed to call you a friend and call you a fellow coworker because we have our businesses are very similarly aligned. And when I did decide to publish my cookbook, you were such a big help and a mentor for me. So you are a big catalyst behind my cookbook. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're so welcome. Well, what I'd love for you to do is share a little bit about yourself and what you do. And then I'm going to ask you more about how you got here.
Sure. So I am a certified nutrition chef. So I help people, just the average home cook, just like you and me. I help people make their recipes a little bit healthier so that they can help reduce the chronic inflammation in their body. So everything I teach, 90% of what I teach is virtual. And I just have a passion about teaching people how to get a little bit healthier without dieting, doing extreme things. And I just put all of my focus on reducing chronic inflammation to help them improve or reduce any ailments that they have or weight, whatever their health issue is. A lot of it can be fixed through reducing chronic inflammation in the body.
I love that. And when we first met, which I still remember like so distinctly, you told me a little bit about why you wanted to write the book and really like how you got into doing what you do.
Sure.
So I'd love for you to share that because I think that's such a powerful choice that you made and also a huge inspiration for so many people.
Yeah. Well, we learn from our life experiences. And in 2014, my husband was 41 years old and it was Super Bowl Sunday. And we thought he had the flu. Long story short, he was having a massive heart attack. We did not know it. He had a stent put in, and after surgery, and he was in the ICU for 2 days, the doctor said, "Hey, you're going to be on 7 prescription drugs for the rest of your life. Here they are. And we want to see you, here's your follow-up schedule." But my husband and I both decided that day 7 prescription drugs was not going to be his destiny. And so I instinctively turned to food. I kind of told him, I'm like, if you can handle, because he had some sleep apnea issues that he needed to deal with. I said, if you can handle the CPAP, sleep apnea issues, I'll handle our food. We are going to change your health and we're going to do it together. And he was like, I'm on board. And I'm like, I'm on board. And it was such a life scare that we decided to do this all in. Well, I had no idea where to start, Renata. No idea. Just like most people that are probably listening to this podcast, I turned to Google. And there was a lot of contradicting information on Google. And my stars aligned and I was introduced to a nutrition school. So I ended up going to IIN. And then a year later, I really was so passionate about that food piece. And I was watching us physically get healthier. And when I say us, here was my biggest aha moment and why I do what I do today. As I was cleaning up our diet, learning all the things, I went to 2 nutrition schools. And as I was learning these things, I was eating the food that I was also preparing my husband by default, of course. I started healing and I didn't know I was sick. So I had all of these small underlying, you would think my husband was the aha moment, but he was the catalyst to heal me. And so when that happened, that's when the light bulbs just went off in my face. And I was like, there is something to this anti-inflammatory diet. If I can feel like $1 million and I didn't think I was quote unquote sick, what are all these other people that don't know that they have all these ailments that aren't their destiny? What if I could help them? So that's when I decided, now that my husband, by the way, he has never been healthier. He had an EKG about 6 months ago, and every EKG he has now says that they can't even tell he had a heart attack. He has completely reversed the damage to his heart. And we did it, 80% through food. We did a lifestyle and a CPAP machine were probably the 2 other factors, but the main factor was food. And so once he was healing and I was never feeling better, I'm like, I feel like now it's my mission to pay it forward. And so I started a business to help others and educate them in an inspiring and loving way to, no pun intended. I really don't ever mean to do a pun when I say my last name. It's kind of funny. But anyway, that now I help other people, just teach them the simple steps that we took in our own kitchen to make our bodies heal and to adhere to an anti-inflammatory diet without feeling restricted.
I literally had chills when you were
Aw.
telling that story. I think it is so powerful, so impactful, because every person out there can either relate directly or through another person to a
Right.
health scare.
Right.
And what's amazing is you didn't accept being on 7, or for him being on 7 medications for the rest of his life. And
And by the
also,
way, he's down to 2 now. And our goal is
that's
to get them off,
amazing.
all of them. One of them is blood pressure, and a lot of that is hereditary, but we're still working on it. We're not giving up, but he's on 2 now instead of 7.
That's amazing. Seriously.
I know.
I
I
love
know.
that. And the other thing that I think is so fascinating too is the impact on your health. So
Right.
I feel like that resonates so well because sometimes we do things to help other people, especially our family members, our spouses, our kids. And when we can feel that direct impact, wow, what a light bulb moment, just like you mentioned.
This is a funny little sidebar story. I was studying one week for, I was about to take a test in IIN, which is an online nutrition school. And this was my first or second month of the school. The school's a year long. And so into the first or second month, I still didn't get it. I didn't get it yet. I put a Pop-Tart in the toaster oven. I cannot make this up. I put a Pop-Tart in the toaster oven and I was watching a lesson, and then it started talking about something. I don't remember what the topic was, but I had my own aha moment with, how am I going to teach and inspire others when I'm sitting here learning in nutrition school and eating a Pop-Tart? What are you doing, Shelley? That was, Renata, my biggest turning point. And I know everyone that I can touch and help and inspire will have that big turning point. No matter, I want them to have their Pop-Tart moment with me. And so that they're ready to make that 90-degree turn in the most positive and beautiful way possible, without massive restrictions and shame and guilt around changing what they eat. So when I had that aha moment, I never turned back. And I just want to help people have as many Pop-Tart moments as they can.
But like well, now we're making the healthy Pop-Tarts.
Right.
Like
That's what I mean. Like, we're not eating
yeah.
Pop-Tarts is the point. Because I can't teach people how to eat nutritious foods and then eat an overly processed food myself. It just doesn't work that way. And to be honest, I didn't feel good after I ate that Pop-Tart anyway. So anyway, that was a big aha moment for me. And I just want to prevent people from making those Pop-Tart decisions. And a lot of people just don't know what they don't know. So between you and me and all the wonderful people that do what we do, I feel like we can help change the outlook of how people see healthy eating and make it a positive experience for others.
I love that. So because you've shared this incredible, I mean, honestly, transformation for your husband and yourself, I'm sure that everybody is like, okay, so what do I do? So
Right.
what would be like your top 3 recommendations to start this journey?
Number one, I think the biggest first step, which can sound really silly, but recognize what you're eating on the daily. If it takes a food journal, if it takes the little notes section in your app, really be aware of what you're eating. And I think one of my biggest takeaways is really start reading that ingredient list on the products you're buying at the store, because those ingredients are going to determine your health. So it's not so important to know how many calories in our food, but we really need to know, like, what is in the food. Is your number one ingredient in that salad dressing sugar? Those are the kinds of things that are going to make the biggest impact on people. We can't make 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. We are going to buy some products at the store. So when that happens, do your due diligence and learn. So that's one of the things I teach, is one of those steps is creating a habit, a habitual lifestyle of knowing what you're eating, whether you're eating out or buying something at home. So that would be a big step for me, for sure.
I love that. And I think that's so important and perfectly aligns with what I'm sharing with others too. As much as you can, like, aim to buy whole ingredients, right?
Right.
If you can, yeah.
And I think my second one would be not to show yourself shame and guilt, and don't have the high expectations where you have to, unless you have dietary restrictions and your health depends on you eating certain foods. As a general rule, if you eat a bowl of ice cream on a Friday night, don't show yourself guilt for that, because Saturday, have a nutritious breakfast. It's okay. There is a balance, and I want people to understand it's okay to indulge and have the things that you love in moderation. I just want the good to outweigh those indulgence, so that would be number 2. Find the balance, whatever that balance is for you. I teach individuality, and I really want people to understand their own body, what how they receive food and what triggers them, right? So, and how to have that balance. Still have the things that you love, but let's concentrate on the healthier options as well. So that would probably be number two.
I
Yeah.
love that one. That's literally perfect because I think, especially with the diet culture that we
Yes.
exist in today, it's so easy to look at what someone else might be eating and think, oh my gosh, I should have eaten that. Or, oh, I
Yes.
can't believe that I ate that. I feel so bad. And you punish yourself,
Guilt and
right?
shame, guilt and shame. It's just this repetitive cycle that the diet industry has embedded into us, right? I think the number three thing would be baby, baby, baby steps. Please don't go clean out your pantry. Please don't just decide overnight, I'm going to have all of these dietary restrictions, because you're just going to set yourself up for failure. And then you're going to be right back at the starting line again. Baby steps, try one step at a time. And between Renata and myself, we have beautiful steps in place to help people with this journey. So I do encourage people, don't go gangbusters on a healthy lifestyle. Let's create small habits at a time that accumulate to a really great healthy lifestyle.
Yes, the small baby steps are
Yes.
key because it's the most sustainable.
They are, and they make the biggest difference. Seriously, like a perfect example is really be cognizant of how much water you're drinking. If you can drink half your body weight in ounces a day, that may take 2 months to create that habit. It's not easy to drink that much water, but once you do it, you're going to see just in that one step, your body is going to change in the most positive ways, energy wise, detoxing wise, all of sleep wise. So that's just one example of take a baby step, get it into your habits, and then start something new.
Right. And I love that you shared that as an example because it's so true. I remember I once mentioned that to a client, and the next week when we met, she was like, now I understand why your skin is always glowing because
Yes.
you're drinking all this water.
Yes. And your eyes are wider, right? I feel like
Yes.
I'm more vibrant as I have learned to drink more and more water.
Huge. I think an additional thing that has been so helpful for so many people, including myself, is having a community. And they help you so much to stay focused on your goals, give you accountability, and also give camaraderie. And so I love that you have your own app.
I do. You and I are so like-minded. I feel like I don't want anyone that decides to follow me, let me inspire them, buy a service from me. I don't ever want them to feel like they're on an island like I was when I was going through this journey. I had no one to turn to. I didn't have a best friend that was doing it with me. I didn't have a college a roommate that we were in the same major. I didn't have anything. I was on an island, and all I had was that my husband almost died. So that put a big old oomph behind me. And so I don't want a huge health scare to be the reason that somebody pushes through like I did. So I have created an online membership where people can cook with me, cook alone, have my recipes. There's how-to videos. And I just want them to feel inclusive. We had chat rooms. We have live cooking classes together. We have meal prepping classes together inside this membership. So I just wanted a place for people to go to feel supported on their ongoing, because as you know, Renata, a healthy food journey and a healthy food relationship is never ending. I tell people the relationship you have with food is the longest one you'll ever have in your life. We all have to eat. We will eat when we're born, and we eat when we die. So until we die. So we must find this happy medium with food to where we love it, but it also is able to love us back. And I feel like in a community, you can feel supported. Like if you have a weak moment, or if you need help, sometimes you can't go to your spouse and say, I'm out of coconut milk. Do you have any suggestions? No, hop in the community, because there's 50 or 60 women in there that are really eager to help you because they're on the same journey you are.
Love that. So tell me a little bit more about the app, because I know that there's a huge event coming up soon.
Yeah, so I have so my community app membership, it's called On the Fork. People can learn more about it. The doors aren't quite open yet for it. Again, I open the doors about 3 times a year because I like to not keep it open all the time, so I can really focus on the people inside the community and we can grow together. And then we open the doors for new members about 3 times a year. But if you want to learn more about it, you can go to www.onthefork.co. But I have this really great 3-part video series event coming up in October. It's all pre-recorded. So it's free. It's great because I don't do live events because so many people are busy and they have their own schedules, and I have people show up more when I can pre-record it. So I don't want time to be a reason why people don't join it. It's called the fundamentals of healthy eating. So I am basically going to start from zero. Even if people have been on a healthy food journey for a while, this is a really good kind of a reminder, accountability partner. It's kind of like me tapping on their shoulders. Hey, how are you doing? Showing yourself some love. So we're going to talk about the fundamentals of healthy eating and how to begin and sustain this journey way past this free event. So I would love for any of people that are listening and watching to your podcast to join us for this free event. You can go, I guess you'll put the link in the below, but you can go to shelleycanhelp.com/simple is the slug. Really easy. It's free to sign up. And then all the instructions will be on the email on how you can join the event.
I love it. Yes, just like you mentioned, all the pertinent links are going to be below the video or in the podcast description so that people can connect with you, because I do believe you have the most amazing content that you're sharing on a daily basis. Like on your Instagram, I love your reels. I love how you share about specific ingredients that can be really powerful for your health. So keep doing what you're doing. It is impacting lives.
Thank you, Renata. And you know what? All of that goes right back to you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so last question.
Yes.
What would be your final words of wisdom for someone that is knowing that they want to make a positive change to their health, but might be feeling a little apprehension, a little nervous about taking that first step forward?
Every day is the opportunity to start fresh. So, and baby steps, start with one small step. Maybe it's just cooking one meal this week. Don't look at the ingredients, just make a meal. Or maybe it's, I'm going to get outside and walk for 30 minutes and listen to the birds. It's a beautiful time of year. Maybe it's that. So my encouragement would be, don't look at the big the big picture. Pretend you're walking in the dark and all you can see is that one step that's in front of you. That's all it takes. It takes that one step. And then tomorrow, look down in the dark and take that next step. There's no end game to this, right? At the end of the day, of course, we want to be healthy and we want to lower our ailments and our disease and our chronic conditions, but we also just need to look at what's right in front of us and begin. Just begin. Don't be scared. Take one step. And if I'm talking to someone specific and you don't know what that one step should be, reach out to Renata, reach out to me, and we will help you with that first step.
I love that. That's so beautifully said. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, guys, make sure to sign up for Shelley's 3-day event. I know it's going to be a super empowering video series. It's going to help you to feel like, yes, I have control of my health. It's time for me to take charge. So definitely go to all the links, follow Shelley. She's incredible. And of course, thank you so much, Shelley. This was amazing.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my message and help you spread yours as well. So thank you, Renata. I appreciate everything that you do for everyone out there.
Oh, you're so welcome, guys. We'll see you again on the next episode.